Welcome back. There we go. That strategic timeout is finished, and Herschel Gibbs was out there. He is the coach of the Colombo Kings. He was giving them some advice in the middle. He'd be an interesting coach, I think, Herschel Gibbs. What do you think, Mickey?
Oh, fantastic. I think it's the poacher turned gamekeeper there for a bit, but it's really good to see him in the game. Hirsch got a wonderful cricket brain.
Did you say coach? I thought he was here for something else. I was told when he got on the flight, he was coming for something else.
He was.
And look at that. Look at that. Kusal Mendes. Oh, that's a big hope for Sri Lanka, I can tell you. Mickey would want to talk about it. I think he's one player who can play across all formats for Sri Lanka.
Ahmed has picked up 1 wicket. A couple of balls left in this over. That's gone for 4. So he's been a little bit on the expensive side, but picking up the wicket of Gurbaz has helped his team.
That's Kusal Mendes just going about his work so well. Very quick on his feet, got back in the crease. The thing about Kusal Mendes, and I said it earlier, is I think he's one of our players that picks length the best. He gets back, he cuts really, really well, and he's straight into his work.
So it's assess things. I think the surface is very good. The boundary, by the way, is 70 metres all round. So that's okay. That's absolutely fine. There's no dramas there. End of that over. The first from Case Omad. 79 for 1. So the run rate is certainly healthy at just over 13 at the moment. So 79 for 1. 6 overs gone at this stage. So they've got off to a bit of a fly. So just to recap, the conditions are good in the middle. It's a good surface. As Darren Ganga told us before the start of play, the boundary is good. That's the power play.
Dushmantha Chameera coming in here. He's got genuine pace.
You like him, don't you?
I do. I really like him. Anybody who can bowl the ball upwards of 145 is very exciting. He's an excitement machine. I was really surprised Angela Matthews didn't give him the new ball. You want to give the new ball to Dushmantha. That was the wicket there of Gurbaz. Again, it was Afghanistan player versus Afghanistan player, wasn't it? He looked for that extra cover boundary and just ended up skying it.
Just a little tussle with each other very well, obviously. Not out of the middle, effective enough, going to pick up a couple. I think there's time to come back for the third. No, not too many threes on this round.
Very encouraging, as you said, Mickey, to see Dushmantha Chameera back, because when I first saw him, when he played for Sri Lanka, I remember how quick he was. He played at the Sara Oval in a test match. He bowled really quick. He was an exciting prospect and then fell away because of injury. But good to see him strong, free of injury and firing.
He's worked really hard, Rashawn, and again, I say a guy that can bowl that pace is certainly well worth his weight in gold.
Just a bit about on that. Nice work.
This is the one thing that we've generally been trying to work with him, and that's his change of pace. You know, again, you've got the pace. He's the type of bowler, and I think I was talking to you earlier today, Rashawn, when we've got two guys who can bowl real quick. You've got Lahiru Kumara and you've got Dushmantha Chameera. Now, what you want is Kumara's, we'll see him later in the tournament. His variation needs to be a gear down. Dushmantha Chameera's variation needs to be a gear up, and those are things we're working on with him.
That's nicely bowled, nice and direct at the body. We all know that Pereira likes playing that stroke, giving himself a little bit of room.
Yeah, that was certainly a gear up, isn't it? I mean, surprised him. Onto him quite quickly. But yeah, it's very exciting times, and I think this tournament will serve as a great notice for everybody watching. And hopefully, the Sri Lanka could or will be able to build a very good T20 side, because don't forget, Sri Lanka were the top team in T20 cricket. And they were one of the best in the world, and you know, the players they had, it was a pity that they fell away. And I'm hoping that this tournament will serve as the perfect answer.
Well, most of the sides around the world have got these tournaments going now, and it certainly has done a lot for franchise cricket in the various countries. The overseas players, the influence of overseas players coming in helps a great deal. So this is the start of something I think that could be quite special.
See, what we must hope for is that there'll be greater interest as the tournament goes forward. Bigger names gets attracted to this. See, at the moment, there were quite a few issues, as you know, injuries, tours, so quite a few players pulled out. So the bigger the names, the greater the experience, and that's what will really benefit the young cricketers coming through.
Yeah, I know, just coming out of our test camp in Kandy, how excited the players were to get out and play cricket and to play in their own franchise tournament. Just from a tactical point of view there, I thought it was so good of Angelo Matthews to bring in a first slip to Kusal Mendes first up.
Oh, that's gone over the top of a couple of guys. A bit of exercise for the umpire.
Good pace, really good pace. The advantage he has is he's tall, and he hits the deck hard, and he gets bounce.
He does that, and he's got a really good action. So you know, he's exciting, and he's been around for a bit, but he's still very young in terms of experience, because he hasn't played that much because of his injuries. So we're kind of learning on the bounce. David Saker's doing a great job with this bowling unit, and I know he really enjoys Dushmancha Chimera.
Down the ground, couple of balls to finish. Have certainly destroyed that over. That's gone for six. That's a wonderful shot from Pereira. Outstanding stuff in the end. 15 runs off the over, 94 for 1. There's a look at the Manhattan graph at the moment. Mickey, how do you read things?
Well, I read things, Kandy Tuskers, what in the ascendancy here. That is a phenomenal start. 94 for 1 after 7. They're playing unbelievable cricket at the moment. I do think it's a really good wicket, though.
Ahmed again. A bit of turn. There's no doubt there's going to be more turn on the surfaces as we move throughout this tournament, as tracks get a little bit more worn.
I think that's the challenge. All the games here, but the good thing is, now take another look. Kusal Pereira, what a player he is. Such an explosive player. I mean, he can destroy attacks.
Yeah, but that was the variation. Because he's bowled the bouncer and he's gone over the keeper's head for 4 wides, he's actually then just tried to put the ball up into the slot. And Kusal Janath read that well. What you want from Chimera is there to bowl his best ball, hitting the top of off stump after that.
Again, some nice turn. Now we've got to thank our sponsor, of course, the My 11 Circle, getting behind this tournament. And there's an app that you can download, and you can select your fantasy cricket team and play with real champion cricketers. All you got to do is download that app from my11circle.com, start playing on the app and picking your team of players to get maximum points in a match. So jump on that and play with the champions only on My 11 Circle.
This is the phase of the innings that I'm most interested in, because this is when you need to do the hard work. Kusal Janaf has got himself a start. He needs to bat through, and Kusal Mendes needs to support him. Together, these two will run very, very well between wickets.
I think, as you correctly said, this tournament would naturally serve as a notice, but this is the time the maturity of players is seen and how they soak the situation. As we know, T20 cricket is not about bang, bang, bang.
Oh, well ball, Casey. Boys, come on, boys. Number 2 here, lads. Number 2 here, lads.
So it's a good over so far, 5 from it. Can he finish? That's the important thing. 2 men back, long off, long on. Full toss, got away with it too. They pick up a single, they pick up 3 figures now. Do the Tuskers, 100 for 1. I guess we've got to also remember this broadcast obviously is going around the world. We need to remember there's quite a few people around the world, and in particular maybe in Sri Lanka, who are watching T20 cricket for the first time. 20 over games, of course, both sides, bat for 20 overs, so 12 overs left in this one. And this is as good a start, Rashan, as you could hope for.
Brilliant, brilliant start. And this is what this league needs. It needs runs, it needs good pitchers, it needs good stroke players. That's what attracts the world's attention. And I think the start has been outstanding.
There's been quite a bit of rain around over the last little while as well, so congratulations to the ground staff for what they've done. That ball coming on nicely, just using the pace and just working it back on a square on the leg side. Only a single this time.
Yeah, Angelo Matthews gone to his trump card again, Isuru Udana, he's a pro in this type of area. He generally controls just outside the power play. So you'll normally see a bowl 1 in the power play, and then he'll bowl 1 or 2 through the middle, and then one or 2 at death, depending on how many he's got left. But what he does is he gives control.
I hope he's okay. He was just holding his side a little bit there as he was going back to the top of his mark. Remember, a lot of these players haven't played competitive stuff for a long time.
No, I think he was in the IPL. He was the only Sri Lankan.
Oh, that's right, he was. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of bowling, so maybe it's a bit of wear and tear.
I was very impressed the way he put his hand up and the way he won the confidence of Virat Kohli. I mean, he was used so judiciously, and that just took him to another level.
An opportunity. Oh, that's beautifully bowled.
Yeah, just on that, I had a lot of communication with Mark Hesson around the time, and he won a lot of plaudits in that Bangalore camp. The guys enjoyed him. They thought he was a leader around the group. He gives 100% all the time. He's a wonderful squad member. So he's really important for Sri Lankan cricket, for us going forward in this form of the game.
He's got a handful of slow deliveries. He's got that one out of the back of the hand, which is very difficult to bowl. This is terrific so far.
Really interesting story. His first love was athletics. He's been an athlete. Actually, he took to cricket later.
A bit like yourself, Rashan.
I wish.
I said a bit like. Would have been on his way by some distance.
Yeah, there was me just saying these two will run fantastically well between wickets.
Well done, Mickey. So just 2 runs off the first half of the over. Great stuff from Udana. Beautifully bowled.
The other thing I'm enjoying, because I know Kusal Janaf's mindset here, Kusal Janaf wants to keep going, but he's eyeing up the scoreboard. He's having a look where they're at, and I think he's eyeing up a really, really big score. And that's the kind of passion and that's the kind of leadership we want from our players in Sri Lanka. Gone are the days of when you've got in, you've done your job. He needs to go through now and play a match-winning innings for his team.
Previous ball was that one at the back of the hand that I was mentioning. Right, Mickey, tell me about these deliveries.
Yeah, he's got a batch. That one out the back of the hand, he mixes it up so well and so much. Now, ironically, that one out the back of the hand, he bowls about 3 or 4 of them. And he bamboozles a guy saying he bowls as sort of 7 or 8. But he's got 3 or 4 that are really good. But these two would know him very well because they've spent a lot of time facing him in the nets. What he has done, Michael and Rashan, is he's given some control here, which Angelo Matthews desperately needed.
Interesting looking at Mendes there. He's looking leg side. He was trying to look leg side when Adana wasn't looking at him. Right, beautifully bowled. Can't do much with that. That is an outstanding over. Considering the situation in this game, that was brilliant. 3 from it, 103 for 1. Oh, that's a freebie. Could have put that away for perhaps better than that. It's a boundary in the end. Thank goodness it was, I suppose. It was a very loose delivery from Ahmed.
Well, it's a My 11 circle champion shot.
And that's a shot Kusal Janath plays a lot. So when Kusal Janath reverse sweeps, I'm really happy because he practices that so much. That's a proper shot for him.
I can see it sailing over the rope on the leg side, personally.
Wow!
Sliding down the leg side. Bound off the first ball, the over is really important right now for the Tuskers. That can kick him into a very good over.
Spot on, Hazy, and I like the fact hit the boundary, get off strike, and that's something that we're talking a lot to the Sri Lankan players about, because as we can all see, the skill and talents there.
Mickey, just to add a little bit here, I know when you came in, you wanted to make Sri Lankan players world class. We'll come to that after this ball. Mendes, very good work at extra cover. So you never spoke of winning or losing. I mean, you never spoke of winning, but your intention was to make them world class. What does that mean?
World class makes them the best that they can be. So we go back to preparation. Everything they do needs to be world class, because then you start inculcating good habits, and that's what we're trying to do with them.
So you happy with the progress, see?
I'm over the moon with the progress. The guys are hungry. They're dedicated. They've worked the house down through the phase in the world that we've been through, and they're ready to play, you know, and I think we're seeing it now. So I'm very happy.
That's beautifully bowled.
Well, the last 2 overs have been brilliant. The last 11 balls, 5 runs in this. Udana was even better. That's the attempted leg break. I thought he got just stuck a little bit in the pitch.
He's got to finish. Can he finish? Inexpensive, a little bit quicker, and that's fine. It's just single off the last. That's good stuff from Case Ahmed. 109 for 1.
It's 109 for 1, going at better than 10 runs and over. Gurbaz was outstanding at the top. The two Kusals, Pereira 40 and Mendes 10. Mendes just warming up. Pereira has been good as well, 40 of 25 balls. Time for Kusal Mendes now. And good evening, Amir. Good evening, Darren.
What an exciting start to this Lanka Premier League. Head into the gap and definitely race away towards the boundary line for yet another My 11th Circle champion hit.
Indeed, and this outfield is brilliant, isn't it? It travels so quickly.
Good evening to you, Roshan. We've seen some exciting stroke play from the Kandy Tuskers in particular. Gurbaz first up, then the captain Kusal Pereira, and now Kusal Mendes getting into the act, showing the type of tempo that you expect at this stage of the innings.
Looking for the ramp. It's been a good comeback by the Kings, particularly the last 2 overs, and now they need some really good overs in the middle. See, what they will have to be careful is not let this pair run away with a big partnership.
Yeah, with a rollicking start, the opposing captain, Colombo Kings captain, was saddled with so many worries. But he's using his bowlers now with the right ideas, and that's why they've been able to control the game a bit, which was running away. Oh, this will sail over the boundary line for a 6. Tremendous pickup stroke from Mendes.
Well, in the first 6, they scored at 13 runs and thereabouts. After that, there was a little bit of a lull, but this will help that acceleration. Many of the good teams in T20 cricket, they score at a faster rate in the middle overs.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Very big over again coming up now. 10 runs of 3 balls. How will the Tuskers be able to finish it? That's the key.
Well, they're still showing the tusks, aren't they? The big ones. They're definitely in charge of the game.
Just a single. And interestingly, there is a fair play award that has been instituted to award the team. That's called the Cycle Incense Fair Play Award, to the team which plays the league in the best spirit of the game. Now, each team is going to receive points by match umpires that's based on the team's conduct, which is very good. You need to make sure that the right spirit is being employed by teams when they play, because let's not forget that millions of young kids watching this.
Now that's why it's called gentleman's game.
Well, 45 runs the partnership, 31 balls, still a very good rate. So Pereira on strike. This time from round the wicket. He's a wide. Just went too wide on the crease. He's got mid-off in, but he's gone full and wide. It was an invitation to go over extra cover.
Maybe a change in attack to Kusal Pereira. He's such a good player. He reminds me a little bit of Virat Kohli, Kane Williamson, because he plays risk-free cricket and he scores at a fast rate. And that is what you want to see from someone batting at the top of the innings. Not giving opportunities to the opposition, but also scoring and making his team strong in a good position.
Doesn't he remind you of a Sri Lankan?
Sana Jayasuriya.
Through the covers, that's it powerfully. But straight to the field, it's only a single, but this outfield is brilliant. Brilliantly maintained ground. Pitchers look good, and it's giving real value.
Yeah, one has to congratulate the curator for producing such a pitch, well suited for T20 format, allowing the batsmen to express themselves, play with freedom, and that's what everybody wants to see in a T20 game.
President of Sri Lanka Cricket, Shammi Silva, is here, and must be quite pleased that this league is off and running. That's well bowled. That is very well bowled. Change of pace. It's 122 for 1. 11 overs completed. The hierarchy of Sri Lanka cricket, Ashley De Silva, played for Sri Lanka, ex-test player, has played one-day cricket, loads of first-class cricket. Now the CEO of Sri Lanka cricket, the president's here as well.
They should be lauded, because I was very apprehensive whether this league is going to happen or not.
Oh, yes, Appu, yes.
But hats off to everybody.
I think, in fairness, it was a real challenge. Having this league was a real challenge. Those are the projected scores. I mean, considering what you call the new normal and what Sri Lanka went through, I mean, in fairness, everyone should be congratulated. And I particularly need to mention the Minister of Sports. I know that he went out of his way and he just wanted this to happen. I mean, this is in no way trying to just score brownie points, but this is being just honest. I know he went up to even the highest in the land. The health authorities were very interested, and everyone worked along with Sri Lanka cricket and everyone involved to just make this happen, which is excellent.
Well done. A new introduction into the bowling attack. Amila Ponso is at the moment relying on darting the ball into the batsman.
Ponso is considered more a white ball bowler because he brings the ball in with the left hand, with his arm, hits the pad, doesn't really look for too much of spin, but what he's good at is the variations, the quicker one, the change of pace, the lengthy bowl, and also spins the odd one. And this has gone straight over the bowler's head. How far has it gone? Far enough, I think. It is 6. What a great shot by Kusal Mendis.
Timing personified on that occasion. Didn't try to overhit the ball. Just timed it. Wasn't a full flurry off the bat. Just guiding the ball over the head of the bowler. And got a maximum for it.
That's the one he does, the one that comes in with the arm. They'll get a single. Not a bad over, 10 runs off it. 132 for 1. Six bowlers used. Udana the best standout, none for 13. He carries so much of experience in league cricket, plays around the world. He was a marquee player in South Africa. Mendy's on strike. Quick single here. And that wasn't the greatest of fielding at mid-off. He was a little bit slow off the blocks. Just allowed that extra few milliseconds for Kusal Mendis to get in.
It's the one area of the game that Herschel gives the coach of this Colombo Kings team will take note of and try to improve. It's the first match of this My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League, so you expect that there will be a few cobwebs, but it's an important part of the game. The out cricket, the fielding, the catching. Yeah, he's taking a note there.
Yep. He will try to instill the standards he had as a field. If he could do that, I think it will just benefit Sri Lanka cricket immensely. Swing and a miss.
It is an important facet of the game. You have to be a good fielding side to be able to make an impact on the oppositions. Now, at times, your bowlers are struggling, and as a fielding side, you have to do something special in the ground to lift the spirits of the bowlers. Can't neglect it anymore. Gone are the days.
Gone are the days. Indeed, indeed. Nicely worked the way down towards backward square leg. Again, we've spoken about little phases in a game. This is an important phase. You could see that Kusal Pereira and Mendes understands that. They're just trying to make sure that they set it up nicely for the launch in the last 4 or 5 overs.
Yeah, experience coming to the fore, and I just want to build on a point that you mentioned. You commended all who've been responsible for the success that we're seeing here. I think the real beneficiaries are the players, not the experienced ones like Kusal Pereira and Kusal Mendes. It's the younger ones. I've seen a lot of 23 and under year olds in this tournament in teams. Gone, taken. Wasn't intended by the batsman. He was looking for more bat on that one to evade the keeper. What a spectacular catch by Dinesh Chandimal.
That ball was travelling. Zipped off the surface. In the end, got too big on the batsman. And what a wonderful take behind the stumps. He almost cupped it up, but reacted well to grab that one, get rid of a danger man. Mendes.
Talk about fielding. Outstanding catch. Mendes goes. Caught Chandimal of Dhoni for 30 each, 134 for 2. A match with on his day, Ase Lagunratna, I can tell you, he's won quite a few games playing the white ball format. In Australia, he was brilliant. Just won games from nowhere. So did he in South Africa as well. And that's his record, 53 matches. His average is 22. Look at that strike rate. It's going at close to 120. He hasn't really played enough because he's been injured. He picked up an injury in a test match against India in Galle. He's on strike. He gets off the mark.
I'm sure he's a work in progress. If you look at his test record, only 6 test matches, averages over 50. So to have a player that plays across format is definitely talent that you want to work with. You spoke about his white ball cricket. This was the reason why he's at the crease. Kusal Mendes being cramped for room, maybe too close to him to play that shot. He'll be disappointed because he got a start. 30 from 24 is what Mendes got with the bat.
1 ball to go in the over. This will be a good one for Dhoni. 3 runs and a wicket. He needs to finish it well. Long off's gone out, so is long on. Deep extra cow out as well. Kusal Pereira goes square, and they'll come back for 2. But this is a brilliant over. 5 runs and a wicket. 135 for 2. Okay. Most fan. Right.
7 overs remaining in the innings. Kusal Pereira, the captain, still there. I spoke about his approach, his risk-free approach to batting. And it's proven to be quite effective in this first match. And he'll want to make a statement for his Kandy Tuskers team.
He's a late developer as an off-spinner. Ashan Priyanjan. Starts off with a short delivery. Captain the under-19 side, has played white ball cricket for Sri Lanka, but he was more a batsman. But he started bowling now, and he's turning out to be very useful because he could come in and bowl a few cheap overs. So that's a decent economy rate under 6 runs and over.
That's brilliant in this format. Anything close to 6.
Just a single again. Just to remind you, the My 11 circle most valuable player of the match. Now we'll try and show you the top 5 fantasy points in the My 11 cycle and just see. Well, we'll come to that in a moment. 3 singles of the first 3 balls. So we'll try and show you the most valuable player, My 11 circle most valuable player at some stage during this innings. But that's another one that's on offer. The My 11 most valuable, My 11 circle most valuable player. Excellent over. Very good over indeed. This is really good stuff. Coming in at this time in the middle, and he's bowled 4 deliveries for just 4 runs.
Balls with a difficult trajectory. The off-spinner, Priyanjan. And he's not afraid to loop the ball. Keeps the batsman guessing. A rare wide delivery from the bowler on that occasion. So far, he has managed to keep these 2 batsmen quiet.
It's outside the off stump. The question is, have the Tuskers just lost the momentum? See, they were going at more than 11 runs and over, and now it's been pulled back. And they're not as free-flowing as what they used to be. A single off the last ball, just 4 runs of that. 143 now for 2 and 14 overs completed. All you need to do is download my11circle.com, and these are the top 5 players. Early days, Gubras is right on top. Kusal Pereira is by far second, but don't forget, just the first game. This will hot up as the tournament progresses. So Udana continues.
You made a point in the last over that have they lost the momentum, Kandy Tuskers? I don't think so. They're not greedy. They know they can get to 200 just by playing with measured approach. They're taking the game to the depth of the innings. I think in last 4 overs, you might see the fireworks. They're just setting it up for that, making sure they don't lose many more wickets from here. Just at the moment, playing with a measured approach, and I think that's the right attitude.
Nicely played. Great work. Great work. That was 4. That was 4. Kusal Pereira knows it. He is lucky. Udana can afford to have a smile. That was 4 written all over it.
And you've got to admire Suru Udana, what he's trying to do. He's trying to go for the Yorkers, and you normally see that in the last 5 overs. And it's an area of the game that I'll be looking at from teams across this tournament, how well they execute their Yorkers, their change-ups. Because as you know, Roshan, the last phase of the innings, the last 5 overs, they are crucial overs. If you're a bowling team, if you're a batting team, whichever team executes well, usually take the advantage going into the midway break.
He's on 49, and he's actually played within himself. Still off 34 balls. Now, if he reaches this, it will be his 20th T20 50. And at the current rate, it will be over 200, which is still a very decent score. So 3 balls to go in the over, and still just 3 runs off it. And this is a phase I'm sure Colombo Kings will be very pleased with. Short delivery really didn't come on. See, this is what Udana does so well. And what I think, and that's his 50, incidentally, an important one for Kusal Pereira. Just a little bit on Udana. He's developed the slower ball so well. He's pretty judicious with how he uses it.
That's what you have to do as a bowler on a flat track. Rely on the variations. Well, that's a well-crafted innings from the captain.
He was not too excited about it, I'll tell you. There wasn't a great amount of celebration when he reached his 50.
Doesn't it tell you that he wants to eke out more? As a captain, he thinks that his job is not done. He has to make sure that his side gets to 200 runs.
He's making use of a good opportunity to bat on a very good batting surface. I spoke with the curator before the start of this game. He mentioned this surface being dry, very good for batting, very different from what we've seen in the last 70-20 internationals here. We've seen low scoring affairs. This is high scoring, definitely so far.
Ray Russ, what are you doing? A single off the last ball. Brilliant over. 149 for 2, 15 overs completed. Well, it's time now for the strategic timeout.
It's the glory of the nation. It's a celebration. It's a revolution. You can feel it everywhere. Winning together, striving together, rising together, glory forever. LPL is the moment we win together.
அடிக்கிற அடியில சுத்தி இறங்குவோம் பண்டையத்தனத்தியத்தை நோக்கி ஒன்று ஒன்ன கள்ளத்துல நெருப்பத்த வீசி வெட்டையாட கட்டுக்குள்ள 11 சிங்கக்குட்டி வந்துருச்சு பொட்டி மட்டும் போடுபட்ட வளையட்டை ஆடு கொண்ட தலை கண்ண கண்டையது தலை கவசம் மட்டும் தான் நடி போடு வீரவாணி நான் சிங்க பொழுது சித்து முண்டுக்கு வாடா ஆறா அடிடா நான்
149 for 2. Gabaz 53 off 22 balls. He's the main scorer at the moment. Here he is, disappointed when he got out, as he should have been.